Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast. Welcome to episode number 164 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. So many people are unhappy because they're thinking about what they're getting or what they're not getting. And my hope is that you can bring some energy and flow back into your life, even if you feel like you're not getting what you want. So today's podcast on making hard things easy is to help you move forward, even when things feel hard. So I have a question for you. What do you think of when you hear the word hard? Do you feel worried? Do you feel concerned? Do you feel excited? And the answer to that question is going to be how you make hard things easy. Our patterns determine how life will move, how deeply present we are as we move through life. And when people say, this is going to be hard, and a part of you perks up, it gets interested, you do have a pattern of embracing hard things. And it is through the hard things in my life where I became more present, I became more awake, I became more attentive. These hard things were disease, death, pressure, and there are problems in life galore. Hard things are not difficult to find. Every day we see how many hard things we can witness. We can see death, we can see destruction, poverty, disease. We see loss, suffering, and pain. And we feel these things as well. Yet hard is a choice. Choosing hard is deciding ahead of time that we're going to make other things easy. And this is important because our experience of life is based on the quality of our choices. This is the definition of a life on your own terms, a life where you feel like you have choices. And there's a connection between your choices and the consequences of your choices. You're always co-creating with the choices you make in context of the world around you, the universe, the people, the organizations, the family that you're a part of. You move within this world. And we all need food. We all need shelter to survive. And the thing is that everything else is just to make life feel easier. And when you can come back to this, that base level of survival, you see that the problems in your life today are likely those that you're choosing. You're choosing these problems, you're choosing these hard things to make your life feel easy. And so now that you know that the job you chose, the person that you're with, the kids that you wanted, were to bring some kind of feeling into your life of ease or joy or stability, you're able to see that that hard thing was and is always a choice and one that you get to have. Not everyone even has the opportunity that you have right now to do the hard thing in the short term that could help them create stability in their lives for the long term. Oftentimes, we want easy things in the short term that lead to hard life in the long term. And so the hard work that you have today is your job, it's your family, it's your health. All these things are choices. And they're choices that you've decided are worthy of your time and attention. So to make hard work easy, we have to become more skilled. And if you could have two fundamental skills to master, you would want to master the skill of decision making and taking action. When you want to make new and bigger decisions, you are considering how you will commit to your decisions. Commitment makes hard things easy. When you truly commit, like really deeply, this is never going to not be the decision I make. You are able to reduce the number of decisions you make every single day. When you commit to your partner, the hard parts of the relationship become easier because you're aware of the results you're looking to achieve, which is that I'm going to stay with this person, that we're going to have a life together, that we're going to grow through all of these issues. And these are long-term results. The horizon changes. When you think about commitment, it changes your horizon for time. And the same thing goes for our health, our work, our pursuit of purpose. All of this requires commitment. For those of you who, like me, might feel impatient towards results that you want in your life, I'll offer you this. When I started thinking about what I really wanted in terms of my career, in terms of my personal life, all those things, I noticed that I would want them to happen now. And everyone always asks me, May, what happens if I have like so many goals? I want to do all the things now. The reason that it hasn't worked for you is because there's a lack of focus, there's a lack of consistency, and there's a hard thing about change, which is that your brain doesn't like it. And so when you think about all the energy that it takes to make so many shifts in your life, you often get tired and your brain wants to stop. And so when I thought about this idea of what's a hard decision that I would make now, but would make everything else feel easy, one of the things for me was, for example, exercising every day, which means that I would have to make it sustainable. If I were to just say that my hard thing was to push through this one thing right now, all I would think about are actions that would push really hard and likely not have long-term positive consequences. And in some cases, that could be okay if you're in a crisis mode or a situation that really needs that kind of push and a certain level of drive and a lack of concern for tomorrow. However, most of the decisions and the things that we're looking for in our life really would be helped if we actually increase the time horizon and if we actually realize that that level of commitment means it's a long-term thing. I would get frustrated if I got injured. For example, when I started running again, and the one shift I made was to consider that this is something that I would want to do for my entire life. If that's the case, what would that mean about this one injury? It would just mean that this is just a blip. It would mean that I would really start thinking about how I care for my body, the awareness that I have in my movement, and an almost spiritual practice to running that changes things. So it's almost like this shift into a more fluid way and natural way of using our bodies for movement. Instead of I push my body to do this thing, my body can naturally do these things. How do I tend to it so that it can continue to naturally do these things for a very long time? And so that kind of commitment, you can see, doesn't happen that often. And when you're really thinking about hard things becoming easy, I'm going to ask you to really commit to this result. We are all unique, yet there are so many similarities, and there's actually a science to getting the things that we want. The uniqueness lies in your unique set of strengths, your experiences that you bring to the table. And the way you show your gifts are the unique way that you express yourself. It's how you live, it's how you work, it's how you show up, and it's how you bring all these things out with consciousness and with attention. The science comes from the sense of balance and closing the gap of achievement. When we're in balance with one part of our lives, we seek to find balance in other parts of our lives. When we've overdone it in one part of our life, we look to underdo it in another part of our lives. If we're feeling like we don't have enough money or time, we go seeking more money, we go seeking more time. The gap is not a problem. The gap creates the desire. And the commitment to filling the gap is what creates the action. And the action is that second skill, taking action. Actions and the ability to show up every day for your dreams and your choices is what takes the commitment into a reality. And this is how you make your dreams a reality. When you take action and you aren't enjoying the process, though, you can easily become unhappy. And this is why hard things feel even harder. Taking action that you actually enjoy makes hard things easier. Understanding why you're taking the action will make hard things easier. Seeing progress with your actions also makes hard things easier. So, are you able to make progress and enjoy your experience? If you answer yes, you'll take more action more consistently. And I want you to understand that enjoyment can come from many different places. It's not just, did it feel easy? I want you to break that link of enjoyment equals ease. Enjoyment can be doing the hard thing. And the reason you know this is because often you feel good if you've exerted yourself in a certain way and you've achieved a result. Things that were really worthwhile in your life felt important because you knew that it took some energy, time, and thought. That's what made you proud of the experience. So, kind of be onto yourself when you start thinking, oh, I just want things to be easy all the time. That's not true. You actually like hard things and you're going after a hard thing now. And the only thought error that you have is that this was supposed to be easy. What if you were only supposed to get the results that you're actually getting through this level of effort? What if that was perfect? What if that was completely fine? What if we mapped it all out ahead of time and we knew that you would have to have 25 failures before the one? What would that change? And that's what I mean when I talk about commitment and then taking action. And when you take action, feeling the sense of progress and enjoyment. It's not just about enjoyment from ease, it's enjoyment from seeing yourself live your life fully. And if you can answer yes to I'm seeing progress and I'm enjoying my experience, you will take actions more consistently. And it's not just about taking a lot of actions. Many of us are really good at doing lots of things. We're really good at pushing really hard, really quickly. And we often think if we just do a lot more, it'll happen. When in reality, it's more important to take intentional steps that go right to the source of what you want instead of an autopilot set of steps that you haven't evaluated. So even if you just pause to think about what's next, that is an action. And the most important actions may not be visible. Working on what we believe and how much we believe in ourselves, our work, and others is an action and one of the most important actions you can take. When you turn that belief dial up, you'll see all the tangible results. You'll see all the ease go up. You can ask yourself this question: how much time do I spend believing? And if there is a gap, you have a gap in ease that you can close. That feeling that you want comes with you spending more time believing. The more time you spend believing that you can do something and that you can improve your life and live more authentically, the easier it will be to take action to do all of those things. So, an example is another running one. I love that example because this was something that really was just not on my mind for a very long time, but it was something that was able to click in and I put into the engine of all the work I do, and I've seen so many results. So, for example, when I started running, it was on this idea of a lark. Like I just felt like I was doing something fun, even though I had this goal of running a mile that was close to what I did in high school when I was playing lots of sports and running lots. That was my commitment to the process. I said to myself, I'm going to try to do this. And I ensured commitment by hiring a running coach. He gave me even more commitment because we often do more for others than ourselves. And I pay him, right? So there's a level of commitment upon a commitment upon commitment. I could see then that even if my motivation could wane, and I'm talking not about my motivation to just do things because I'm really good, and most of you are at just doing things, but my motivation to do things in an appropriate order that would lead to better results versus just trying to do a whole bunch of things and actually utilizing someone who has done this before and could help me avoid some pitfalls and help me save time and actually make it better for me, right? Like I was buying my results, but my commitment was going to be there even if my motivation waned, because I was committed to this person, I was committed to the money, I was committed to doing what I said that I would do, even if I didn't want to. So then I took action, right? That second step. I did it by aligning my identity as a person who does what they say they would do. So since I already committed to running, it was easier for me to wake up and go running. I could not imagine waking up and then looking at my phone for my workout and then realizing that I'm just not going to do it today. Like that to me was so misaligned with my identity of a person who says, I'm going to do this thing and does the thing. So I wasn't doing this in the past, but suddenly I was every single day. And we're often so stuck on not wanting to change our patterns. So you're like, how do I do this without changing anything? Right? That's not the question. When we get into that mode, we are looking for change. We're often so stuck on not wanting the change that we forget that the thing we want most is to change. And that means other things will change. So, yes, it is a good thing if you feel like you have to do something different, if you feel like it's hard. It means that you will get a different result. So, you want to see hard things change your life. You want to see yourself doing, thinking, and believing things that felt foreign, that felt weird to you in the past. This is why I always encourage people to be weird, right? To just own that the job that we're here to do isn't to stay safe. The base level was safety, and you already got it, food and shelter. At the most basic need of staying alive. We often want more food or more and different shelters, but that's very, very different from, do you have enough food to stay alive? Do you have a place where your body can be physically safe? And if you have those things, which you likely do if you're listening to this podcast, all of the things above that are gravy. All of the things above that are just finer points to play this game of life in a different and challenging and fun kind of way. And so you start to see that you have all of these beliefs of what life gets to do for you, what life means for you, what people have to do in order for you to be happy. And if it feels a little bit weird to change some of those things, that is a good thing. We all want to believe that life's going to work out for us and that it's going to be better than we realize, that we're capable of doing what we want, and that our experiences are just going to get richer and they're going to mean something to us. And what would it feel like to have those sets of beliefs running your life? Literally, what would happen if all you thought were those things all the time? That my experiences mean something, that I believe that things are going to work out better than I realize, that I'm capable of doing the things that I want, and this all is going to work. You would start to see yourself rapidly, easily moving through hard things. You would move towards them. You would want them. I want you to even feel and imagine what it would be like to feel like you're leading yourself through change. It's not forced upon you. Sometimes that happens. We're like, I don't want this. I just have to. They told me to. None of that. The first thing we talked about is the decision of life on your own terms, which means that all of this is a choice. So if you're here now, you get to choose not to listen to a person. You get to choose the results that you would get from not doing this thing. But if you're really wanting to do this thing and you've committed, then you're here for it. And you want to see yourself leading yourself through change with honesty and with integrity. What would it feel like to be that person that says, yeah, I'm doing this and I'm being honest and I'm going to have integrity as I lead myself through this change. I'm going to commit and I'm going to take action. When this becomes your status quo, I commit, I take action, I'm honest, and I'm in integrity, you see that hard things have to change things. hard things push your ideas and belief into broad daylight so that you can question them, all of them. Is it really true that you can't do this? Is it really true that this isn't ever going to happen or this terrible thing is going to happen? Is it really true that you are the only person this won't work for and you need to stop? Is it really true that you don't have enough time, money, all the things, and that this is going to be the thing that breaks you? You need to break your own beliefs and commit to new ones. And that's the part of the process that makes the hard things easy. If you can normalize hard things and normalize discomfort, you'll also stop wasting all of your precious energy resisting that this is your life. So now, if something seems hard, what are you going to think? You're going to think, good. Here it is. Here's a hard thing that we've been talking about. So just start getting curious. When the situation comes up, that feeling of like, oh, not good enough. Why didn't this happen? I'm not doing this thing. Oh, I'm breaking my promise to myself. Reel it back. Start getting curious. Break your beliefs to create new ones. Do I believe that I can't fail even on my path of commitment? No, that's not true. I'm going to have to figure out a way to be okay with me failing, even if I'm committed. Even if you're committed, you might not always do the things you said you would do. But if you see progress in doing more of the things you said you would do, getting better at aligning what things you want to do and why you're not doing the things you said you would do, that's also progress as well. If you see yourself being curious around why you tend to have the same patterns of thinking and behaving and feeling and the same results that show up no matter where you go, these are the things that are hard. You will break these beliefs, create new ones, and then take action. You're going to find that easy is around the corner once you make friends with the hard things in life. And so when we think about a really well-lived life, like a wealthy life is one that you feel that is well-lived, one that is fulfilling, which includes stepping out of your comfort zone to choose who you want to be when the things get hard so you can make the choices that give you the most fulfillment personally and professionally. This is what it's all about. It's actually saying, I'm here for it all. And the hard doesn't go away, right? So I spend a lot of time thinking about how hard things can become easier and why they do, because our brains don't like hard things, and hard things are usually the obstacle to the change you want. If it was so easy to have the thing, you wouldn't really want it that badly. It's way more precious when it feels like there was a level of effort that it took to get there. And all that means I'm not talking about burning yourself out or working yourself to the bone. Hard is very different. We talked about the visible hard and the invisible hard, right? Breaking your own patterns of decision making is hard, but that is something that you can be really proud of. Breaking your own patterns of how you talk to yourself is hard, but that's something that will powerfully affect the rest of your life permanently. Breaking your beliefs is hard, but it will forever shift what you feel is available to you in life as well. And so do not equate hard with stress and burnout. I'm talking about the hard that is the resistance to the thing that is in the way of what you want. And I want you to also consider that our brain doesn't like hard things, like I said in the beginning. So we want to realize that sometimes we might not have the capacity to deal with all of it, but it doesn't mean you can't do something. The hard things are often associated with the biggest, most important aspects of our lives, our spirituality, our health, our work, our relationships. You cannot ignore them. You're not going to wait until life gets easy to work on the hard things, because those hard things never go away. If you're like, I'm going to wait till my relationships get better and then we'll invest more time into being with each other. No, the hard time when it's hard to be together is when you want to work through it, because that's what makes things easier. It's not going to just get better on its own. Your work on the hard things makes life easy. And so as I think about these different seasons in my life, I'm very acutely aware of the different kinds of hard that I'm encountering. And the same thing will go for you. As you head into this next season of your life, you're going to find a new level of hard because hard changes. You've just not experienced this kind of hard before. And this is normal. This is expected. And this is going to help you appreciate all the ease, all the joy, all the love that is actually available to you on the flip side of embracing the hard and the difficult. So do not distract yourself. Be here for all of it. If you try to avoid the hard, you actually don't feel the depth of emotion of the ease, the joy, the love, the flip side of other feelings in life. If we're not here to witness all of it, we often end up with this life that feels very just in the middle, very kind of, am I here? Am I doing it? What has happened? I'm not sure. And so this is going to feel edgy. It's going to feel like, oh, this doesn't feel great. And that doesn't feel great is also going to be okay. So in order to help you dig deep and evaluate what hard things you want to work through to make life easy, I've created a free workshop for you. We're heading into the summer, and it is one of the best times to shift perspectives and to break free of our old beliefs and of our old identities. And this workshop is on June 20th, and my goal is to help you have a magical summer, even if you're super busy. A summer where you get to be re-inspired, you're ready to go, ramped up for the next thing. And you can sign up here at the link in the show notes. Tell everyone, share it all. I'm sharing all of the practical and spiritual strategies that help me maintain a full life of purpose, even while being an entrepreneur, a trainer in the corporate world, a wife, and a mom. So I will see you there. And I'm also going to be sharing more about spiritual achievement coaching. So if you like this blend of practicality, spirituality, of mindset work, you will love this experience. Change your job, get healthier, figure out what brings you more meaning, and actually do those things. All my clients get what they came for, and I cannot wait to work with you as well. So if you want to learn what that experience is like and how to get started, go to www.mayemson.com/contact, and we'll set up a time to talk and see if it's the right fit for you. All right, my friends, hope you have an amazing week, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayemson.com. You'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.